Another thing that would be important to this, and I'm going to actually pull off up here and have this conversation because this is an important part of this before I get to Potter's house. I've already said part of this going in, but and it is 10:33 a.m. Central Time on July the 15th. But just a moment ago, I heard a conversation in my right ear that essentially said, "Mr. Curtis, that's how you do that, and we're about to arrest every unrighteous motherfucker out there." Now, that's exactly what I was told in Savannah, Georgia, as a part of this, and was invited to go around and clip a bumper of a Dodge, that sort of thing. I was told the FBI SWAT was on the scene. They were going to come pick me up. Just most bizarre things. So I would act accordingly. Well, in my ear, what I heard was, we're going to arrest every unrighteous motherfucker out there, and Bishop Jakes is not a part of this, but he is. His name is on the check that's signed for the device. He's got a lot of explaining to do, and you two of you are going to have to go and talk about what is and is not appropriate at this time. And then it said, "Oh no, I'm just shitting you. Bishop's not a part of this. Go on to Dallas." But there would be that counter message. So regardless if Bishop's on the check or not, and regardless of what the situation is, I'm still going to Dallas. I'm still going to have a conversation with the man as to what I will and won't do. And I am on record saying right now that Bishop Jake signed that check, and it is proven that regardless of whatever business deal I work out now with him, I will testify against him in any contract for my book or anything else. I will specifically demand that it put in there that I will not be in any way prohibited from testifying truthfully to anything I have knowledge of on a witness stand to prosecute him, Sarita Jakes, any of his children, Dexter, Jamar, Cora, Ontario Green, Antipas Paris, Portia Washington, or any other Potter's House staff, or even his daughter Sarita out in California, or her husband. And it was always intimated to me some sort of sexual attraction or relationship with the daughter out in California subliminally, and that really kind of bothered me a little bit. And that just did. So it's one of those situations. And then sometimes I would feel like I was being told, "Don't talk about that, move on." And that's just the weirdest shit going on in my head, and that has been going on day and night. And then I would feel like that when I was really getting control of my life and my mind, that what would happen is I would be kept up for a couple of nights, and then I was so much more susceptible to this type of technology. So that's a part of it. But I'm going to Dallas. I feel like my life story with all the twists and turns with Living in the Shadow of Tomorrow and Kristen, the book, is worth every bit of several $1 million. And if they don't want to buy it, somebody else will obviously want to buy it. But if I sell it, it ain't got nothing to do with this, and that's just my business. And I just never want to be intimidated one way or another. But I also want to make it plain that there's no such thing as hush money in this, because even if I negotiate the deal, there is no way in hell that I do not answer truthfully before an FBI investigation. And any contracts for Living in the Shadow of Tomorrow, Kristen, Bobby Curtis's life story, or any of those things will not be precluded from, will not see. And this would be example. All of a sudden, language would become very important. How I would word something, which is consistent with sometimes how I would act in public if I were negotiating a deal. But you wouldn't think, and I guess it follows, I would do this right now, and I would hear this pop in my left eye, like get back on task. I mean, left ear. So what I'm saying is the issue before me right now is I am not in any way going to negotiate a deal in which technology that is in my ear, whoever's responsible, they do not go to jail. And if Living in the Shadow of Tomorrow and Kristen are eventually become motion pictures, major motion pictures, never sell a copy, or bought for millions of dollars, or not bought, and I decide to sell it to the man anyway, my contract with him will have to stipulate specifically that if right now or any year in the future, it doesn't preclude me from suing him, both in civil courts and from testifying in criminal court and or pursuing criminal charges if I so choose. And then my life story in any movie would have to be told authentically and accurately, and would have to be fact-checked by reporters. So an important part of this as well. And so I would want it fact-checked by reporters, my life story, to make sure that this incident in particular involving Potter's House was told accurately and truthfully before it was released, because I want the story told authentically and not a spun version if it ever wound up to be a part of that. So that's part of the conversation here. So TD Jakes even going there today to say, hey, what the hell's going on with this? He'll understand that in the future he is or isn't involved. Doesn't have anything to do with that. But I've been led to believe that maybe that we were going to have some conversations with regard to Living in the Shadow of Tomorrow and Kristen, my life story, that sort of thing, through a guy by the name of Bernard Jones, who, when I talked to him a few months ago, said his brother-in-law was actually on staff at Potter's House and saw Bishop on a regular basis. So I sent Bernard a book, asked him to deliver it to Bishop personally with a $5 offering, and put it in his hands. And then this morning I was told that Bernard was not a part of Potter's House and that he was going to have to be kept at arm's distance. So anyway, documenting that.